Yes, you plan the wedding, you plan the vows, you plan the dress, you plan the vows, you plan the venue, you plan everything, you've planned the walk down the aisle. But nobody's really talking about what happens the next day. Nobody's talking about what happens after the wedding. Nobody's talking about day one of marriage. And when you wake up after that wedding, real life begins. I mean, real marriage life begins. Now, by this time, the guests have gone home, the planner gets paid, no more cake testing, no more dress fitting, no more color palettes, no more sitting arrangement, no more sending out invitation, no more, all those things that come with a wedding and all, wedding preparation and all. Now, it's just you and them. I mean, the real them. Morning breath, emotional baggage, weird habits, all of it and more. I mean, everything about them and more. So now what? You said I do, right? But what exactly did you step into? I mean, let's keep it real. Let's face reality. A wedding is just one day, at most 7 days. But a marriage is lifelong. It is daily. It is sacred work, and it's for a very long time. I mean, a very very long time. And it's not built on confetti and chemistry. Rather, it's built on consistency. It's built on grace. It's built on God. It's built on forgiveness. It's built on forbearance. It's built on love. I mean, real love, not just platonic love. So if you're single and preparing to marry, yeah, or you're newly married and you're now wondering, so did I miss the manual? Why is everything looking strange and looking weird to me? This video is for you. Now let's talk reality. What actually comes next after the wedding? What are those things that most people don't prepare for? That is the reality of marriage, the real thing that happens in marriage. The first reality of marriage is that you married a whole person, not a highlight reel. You married a full human being and not a Facebook post or an Instagram reel or a TikTok post. You married a human being. Yes, that person, that man, yes, that woman. Human beings with all the limitations and everything about it. They are not a walking and a breathing Instagram grid. You married a person. You married a soul and not a filter. Someone with history, someone with weird habits, someone with a background, someone with a healing that is in progress, even a healing that they don't know that they need. So drop the fantasy and embrace the fullness. Drop what you're thinking about and embrace the reality, because a ring does not turn somebody into a perfect spouse or a perfect person. A ring or a marriage or a wedding does not turn somebody into a perfect spouse, does not turn somebody into a perfect wedding. They are still growing just like you. You know your your limitations and everything that you face. They too are still facing things, similar things, even maybe sometimes even more than you think. So you definitely discover new and unfamiliar things about them. I mean, things that you didn't see when you were dating or when you were in courtship. This is the time you see it, because remember, as I always say, marriage will amplify that person. It will amplify that behavior. It will amplify that habit that that person have, even your own. So some of the things that you will discover, some might be sweet, and some might be, for lack of a better word, for some might be some sanctifying. So you didn't marry a savior. That role has already been taken. You married a human being. You married a human. You married a person. So you have to be gracious to them and to yourself. Because as time goes on, you eventually get used to who they are. Because marriage will make you to become the person that you need to be. Marriage will challenge you to become the person that you are expected to be. Now, the second reality of a marriage is that you're not building a moment, rather, you're building a rhythm, you're building a system. Romance and feelings can get you to the altar, but rhythm, that's what keeps you from walking away from it. System, that's what keeps you from walking away from your marriage. So, your marriage is not candlelit dinners. Your marriage is made in what you do today, how you do today, how you live today, how you prepare for that marriage today. So it's not just about it being sexy and being nice. Marriage is even more spiritual than we think. Marriage is very, very spiritual. Yes, it has the physical aspect, right? Fine. But it's spiritual. So in a marriage, you're either building peace into your patterns or you're slowly building resentment. Now choose the one that you want. Use the one that feels good to you. So you ask each other, What does together time look like? That is, these questions that I believe you should ask them before the marriage. Yes, it's better you ask them before the marriage before you commit. So you ask to ask each other, what does together time look like for you? How do we handle conflict? What drains you? What fills you up? So you must sow into your daily flow. Find out that thing that fills you up and sow into it. Find out that thing that drains you and keep away from it. That's what I mean by you sowing into your daily flow, because peace lives in our patterns and not just in our passion. So find out these questions, settle these questions before you now commit. Because if you don't get these answers, if you don't get the answers correctly, chances are excellent that when you get into that marriage might end up draining you. You might end up feeling bad. You might end up feeling as if you walked into a mistake. Now, the third reality of marriage is unity is not automatic. It is cultivated. It is built. So being in love does not mean that you're on the same page. It only means that you're in the same book. Unity takes work. Unity takes time. Unity takes having those tough conversations. Unity takes prayer. Unity takes compromise. Unity takes humility. Unity takes forbearance. Unity takes forgiveness. It's not something that just comes like that just because you people love each other. Your spouse will stretch you. Your spouse will annoy you. He's a human or she's a human. So if you're not united, if you're not interested in unity, that marriage will scatter even before the ink on the certificate dries. So you have to unlearn independence, especially for we ladies that, especially those that were working before they got married, even men that that had some independence before they got married. So you have to unlearn independence. So marriage is not a me first situation now, it's a we always situation. So I mean, from finances to friends group, from where you worship, from the kind of things you do, from what you watch, everything has to just, you might not have to change totally, but there should be some adjustments so that there will be unity. I'm not talking about control now, I'm talking about connection. So instead of saying I always do this way, try saying what will you feel better for both of us. Two is better than one, but only when they choose to work in step. Only when they choose to work together in step. And sometimes working together might start to feel uncomfortable. So when you start having that feeling of that discomfort, don't confuse it with dysfunction. It is normal. It comes with learning how to work together. Now, the fourth reality of marriage that you might not be prepared for is discomfort does not mean dysfunction. Still building on unity. So growth will stretch you. Growth will stretch you. It might not be interesting, it might not be sweet, but know that stretching does not mean that something is broken. Stretching does not mean that something is wrong. Yes, your triggers will come up, your triggers will show up, and that is not failure. It's okay. It's just a moment for you to now grow above those things that trigger you. Just know that once your triggers come up, know that it is your next healing assignment, and you have to embrace it with all humility. Know that you won't always feel butterflies and all those warm sensations in your belly. But if you stay committed, if you stay dedicated, connection will follow. Remember that connection follows consistency. So growth is not cute all the time. Yes. Growth is not always fine. It's not always beautiful. Most times it is messy. So sometimes it's just, those tears that you shed on the bathroom floor, especially after they've touched that your trigger, or they've made you feel so sad. But the good news is that you're not doing it alone. Yes, you're not doing it alone. You have your spouse to help you. So if you're feeling stretched already, I mean, you're a few days into the marriage and you're already feeling stretched, you're already feeling tired, you already feel like wanting out. Don't wait until you're broken to ask for help. Yes. If the stretching is now looking as if it's becoming unhealthy, my dear, please ask for help. Now, the fifth reality of marriage is you get help early and not just in crisis. So, once you're feeling that this situation now might go out of hand, you get help early. You don't need to be falling apart before you seek for help. You don't need to be falling apart before you invite wisdom. All you need is that you need to be humble to know that you don't know it all, and also realize when you need help. And this help, you don't get it from your single best friends or a WhatsApp group chat of singles, people that have not really experienced marriage. So you get this help, you get this needed help. So you get this needed help from married mentors. I mean, couples that live what they teach. Couples that you know them, you know how they live, and this is really how they live. Those are the people you get help from. So Christian counseling does not mean that something is necessarily wrong. It should be normalized. It's just asking for extra help when you need it. And in all that you do, remember to pray together. So you have to make prayer the lifestyle and not the lifeboat. You're supposed to be praying together, not just for each other now. As you're praying for each other separately, also make sure that you're praying together. So don't let God be a guest in your marriage. Make him the host because he's the person that instituted the marriage. So you make him the host. And once you make God the host in your marriage, everything will fall in place. Even when people are having difficulty or having issues, it won't get out of hand. It won't be blown out of proportion because God is there. So you remember that when the music fades, the vows will still stand. When the glamour and everything fades, the vows will still stand. So know that when you said I do, what you actually meant was I will choose you again tomorrow, and I will choose you again the next day and the day after till forever. That is what you mean by when you said I do. So marriage is not magic, it is ministry. And marriage is not for a short while, it is for a long while. Marriage is daily surrender that is covered in grace, rooted in truth, and anchored in God. So it's not about being perfect, it's just about being rooted in love and purpose. So if these points we've talked about now helped you to shift your perspective about marriage, do well to hit that like button so that many people like you will find this video. Now let's hear from you. What's one thing you wish somebody told you before you got married? Or what are you praying for right now in your future marriage? Drop it in the comments and let us discuss from there. So do well to subscribe for more real talk, for more wisdom, and for more relationship insight. Single ladies, click on the description box and you see a link there that will lead you to our Hephzibah community. So this is where we communicate, this is where we discuss, this is where we talk to each other, this is where you ask your questions and I can really answer you. So until I come your way next time, remember that your wedding was a moment, but your marriage is ministry. So treat it like a holy ground. See you in my next video. Bye.